WrestleMania 36, what could have been the actual stage design had this big pay-per-view taking place inside the stadium in Tampa Bay? We're going to talk about it. We got a photo. So much stuff coming up. We're going to talk about it right here, right now on DPW.
You have arrived at your destination.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's your boy Ango at Tango with Ango on Twitter and Instagram if you guys want to follow me on social media. And make sure, as always, guys, you support the channel. Drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe, you know, the whole 9 yards, whatever it may be. But guys, here's the thing. WWE WrestleMania 36, very, very big pay-per-view. And obviously, due to the pandemic that's going around, it's caused a lot of issues. We've already talked about this several times. But now people are really, really curious about what the stage design could have looked like, especially taking place in Tampa Bay. Because as you guys know, WWE has the pirate theme that is going on. And a lot of people fell in love with this. There's been a lot of talk and, a lot of concepts that were leaked and a lot of images that were leaked. And we actually have an image we're going to put on the screen in just a little bit. Very interesting image. It is a concept art of what it could have looked like. But most importantly, there's a lot of information that's out there based on that concept, and also what WrestleMania 36 is going to look like at the Performance Center. So we're going to talk about it right here, right now on DPW, guys. But make sure, as always, you guys show your support for the channel. For the latest pro wrestling news, make sure you guys click that subscribe button and ring the bell. This way you can get notified on all the latest content by DPW. Alright guys, subscribing to the channel is the biggest way to help the channel grow. So if you guys could click that subscribe button, ring the bell, share this video with anybody that you think might be interested, it definitely is appreciated. And then of course, DPW Plus, $1 a month. I'm not asking you guys to do it at this time, but if you guys have it in the means to do it, then feel free to do so. The links and stuff will be in the description. But let's talk about WrestleMania 36 first at the Performance Center, because as you guys know, there is no crowd. So what is WWE's plan? Well, I think based on every sort of thing that's coming out, on the internet, WWE has no plans to put in some crowd noise. WWE has no plans to, CGI the event. I think a lot of people are looking at rumors about WWE suggesting doing the green screen with the crowd and stuff. And at this point, I think everybody knows that it's probably not likely. Not saying it's not going to happen, but it's probably not likely because WWE has other plans for the surrounding area of WrestleMania 36 inside the Performance Center. So if you guys have looked at any of the Performance Center matches that have taken place on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, WWE has a lot of space to use to be able to put on a great production. And one of the things that is being said is that WWE will continue with the pirate ship theme. There is a possibility that WWE will do a lot of the things that they had done for previous WrestleManias with the lighting fixtures and all that stuff. It sounds like WWE is going to go all out in this regard because obviously they are trying to kind of make up for the fact that there is no crowd. For one, I think WWE is in a tough situation because WrestleMania with an empty crowd is probably going to fall flat, which is sad, but it's a good thing in a sense. I mean, at this point, it probably would just be better if the entire event was canceled. But selfishly, I love pro wrestling, and I'm going to watch both nights. But the idea is WWE is going to stick around with the pirate-themed ship. There's going to be a pirate ship. The pirate theme is going to be laid out all over. They're going to do a lot of stuff with the lighting, and I know from reports that have come out, obviously pyro is not part of the plans, but they might use like some smoke machines and some visual effects. There's even talks of using augmented reality to kind of help out with the physical design and presentation of WrestleMania 36. Now, that's all really good news because WWE needs to do something to kind of take away from the empty crowd. And I think WWE is going to be able to just do that. And I think, honestly, depending on how this card looks, I know it's not the best WrestleMania based on the circumstances, but this card is so special. I truly think that it's going to be a good show nonetheless. And I think whatever WWE is going to do, I think they are capable of doing something bigger and better than pretty much any pro wrestling company in this situation. And that's what happens when you have a lot of money and resources. But now you guys kind of want to see where they get the inspiration from. So I want to actually show you guys this image. This came from Coast to Coast Designs. which shout out to them. They created a concept art based on all of the stuff that's out there for WrestleMania 36. And this concept design is pretty much what a lot of people feel WrestleMania 36 was going to look like, based on inside information, based on outside information, speculation. I mean, there's so much stuff that's out there, but the group of people at Coast to Coast Designs literally nailed it in this video. And I want to put the link in the description because I think they did such a fantastic job. It's animated. I mean, there's so much cool stuff that you can see in that video. But you guys can also see that there is the pirate ship on the stage, and then they have the skull with the swords. I'm going to say that we should expect a lot of that for WrestleMania 36 in the Performance Center. And quite honestly, I think WWE should utilize the surroundings. I think one thing that AEW has done that was really, really significant was using the surroundings. You know, people had mentioned, why do you have guardrails or, whatever, surrounding the ring? And it's like, AEW's philosophy is you could throw people into them. I think WWE needs to use the environment as much as possible at WrestleMania 36, especially if it looks like the design
For the latest
here.
pro wrestling.
So if you look at this design quickly, you see the pirate ship, you see the Titantrons, you see the entrance ramp. I think WWE can do something very, very interesting. I don't think they have to keep the same layout as they have done on Raw and SmackDown, and I think that is just why, this is going to be a interesting WrestleMania. I think more so now than ever, like, even if it's pre-taped, the spoilers haven't come out, which I think is good. I think WWE has such a big event here that it's about damn time that we get something to take our mind off of this pandemic, and nobody knows when life is going to go back to normal. We're all obviously hoping that it gets back to normal soon, but ultimately, at the end of the day, guys, my proposition is this. If you're in good health, stay inside, watch pro wrestling, and that's it, man. Like, all these other stresses, all these other worries that are out there, it is what it is at this point. Like, we really can't do anything other than keeping our distance and just being safe and taking all precautions and washing our hands and everything like that. So ultimately, WrestleMania 36 is going to be very, very popular because it is the most incredible circumstances that a company has ever had to put a show on TV, and WWE, I mentioned this in my previous videos. If you guys didn't check them out, I'll put a link in the description as well. We talked about this. WWE has a couple options of what they're going to do going forward, and there's a chance that they might just take an off season. So, ultimately, I don't know what to expect, guys, but I'm really, really curious to see how WWE handles this going forward, and I think a lot of that is based on the stage design. One last thing that I want to mention in today's video. When it comes to the stage design of WWE's WrestleMania 36, I haven't received official confirmation on this, but rumors were out there that WWE had spent so much money for the Tampa Bay stage design, and most of it cannot be used because obviously it's not taking place in a stadium. And I'm not saying this is like the most legit depiction,
For the latest
but when
pro
you look
wrestling.
at this image right here and you see that ship, obviously it's a big ship. I don't know if you can necessarily fit something like that in the Performance Center, so you're probably going to have to pay a little bit more money to resize it down. So WWE financially could be taking a very, very big hit from this, but at the end of the day, if they are taking a big hit from this, I'm going to give them a lot of props because, again, putting on a show at this time is very, very difficult. And I want to make that very clear. It's not easy to put on a wrestling show when the government and the whole world is telling you not to do it. It's very hard to put on a wrestling show when you're told to be standing 6 feet away from each other. And, again, I think some people mistake this for me, like, being entitled. I'd prefer that WrestleMania was postponed. I'd prefer if it got pushed back. I'd prefer a lot of things because obviously I want to go to WrestleMania. It'd be cool to look at this card. I mean, it's such a stacked card. The potential could be one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, and I'm not afraid to say that because it is just such a nice card. A lot of nice things WWE did in this build-up, despite people online not necessarily loving it. I do. So, of course, I would have loved for WrestleMania to get pushed back and everything. But at the end of the day, it's a very tough decision to make, especially when you got to look at the health and safety of others. So one side of me is being selfish, saying I want WrestleMania, and the other side is like, nah, you just got to close down the doors and come back later. But again, I'm not the person who's operating this multi-trillion, zillion-dollar business. I don't make those decisions. I'm just a fan. As a fan, I want pro wrestling because the NBA, MLS, NHL, NFL, none of those sports are on right now. So of course I want pro wrestling. But on the other hand, obviously I want everybody to be safe. And I want this stuff to go away as soon as possible. You know, they're predicting in Michigan within 2 weeks, around Easter Sunday time, it should peak. I'm hoping it's even sooner. But nonetheless, guys, you know, we got to roll with the punches and see what happens. Hopefully you guys are enjoying more content. I know this quarantine has allowed me to produce more content. So if you guys are interested in helping me out, make sure you guys support the channel, and I'll see you guys later. For the latest pro wrestling news, make sure you guys click that subscribe button and ring the bell. This way you can get notified on all the latest content by DPW.
You have arrived at your destination.
Thanks for watching. Bye.